Hey, it's Tim on Marine Diagnostic Tools. Today we're using the Cojali Jaltest software. We're going to be connecting to a 2023 Mercury Verado. So we're going to select the outboard. Then we'll go to Mercury. We'll scroll on down over here and select that Verado. And then we'll come over here to this scroll bar. I kind of cut that off, but it's over there. And we'll select the 400 Verado. Okay, so you'll see all our systems that we can connect to. In this case, we're going to use the PCM. That'll be your 4-pin connector. We'll go to that connection icon. You'll see on that left, that's that terminator. You could connect to it if you were doing a DTS system. It's kind of smashed up under the fuse box cover. But in this case, with the engine, we're going to connect to that 4-pin JDC 603. So we see our tabs here. We see our repair information on the left. Our fault code rating, we'll go into that. It's a fairly new engine, so we won't see a whole lot there. But that's what it would look like, and then it would list your codes if they were active, inactive, or memorized. And then you could clear your codes. Your ECU data, that'll give you information on the engine, and we could scroll down there to see all that. Okay, we'll check that and accept. We'll go out of there. Our operational data, you could see our data record. We could record our data if we wanted to. That would be listed in there. And then the engine operation hours, like I said, it's not a whole lot on here. But that's where you would see it. And then you can go to the RPM ranges and see those as well. And then your trip data reset if you wanted to look at that. All right, so our monitoring, we'll see our live data selection in our system display. It's always going to ask you if you want to set your triggers into measurements. We're not going to do that right now. But we'll go ahead and select all the live data. We'll go to this magnifying glass, and you can see those listed here. You can see our different pages. If you wanted to pause them or save them, take a screenshot, you can do that as well. This little gauge thing's a little bit different view, a little bit prettier. If you want to look at it that way, it's also going to adjust your pages, as you can see there. So just keep that in mind. And then if you wanted to graph those out, you just select those parameters you want to see and go over to the graph. Obviously, this is going to look a little different if the engine was running, and I probably wouldn't pick these three parameters, but those are there. You can zoom in, zoom out, pause or play, and then we'll include it in a diagnostic report at the end. You'll have all that information in that report you can hand to your customers. Okay, our system display is going to look a little different. I like it. It's got the pictures in there. It's kind of animated, but like I said, it'll look a little different if the engine was actually running. So we'll include that in the diagnostic report as well. All right, our actuate components, these are our tests. So we're going to see our fuel injector test. I did not record a video so you could see it, but it's going to walk you through all the steps. You click on that injector. When you hit that check mark, it's going to actuate. You're going to hear that injector click, and if it's working, it's getting that signal. And then once it's done, it's going to tell you the process is finished. You can go on and check another injector, or we can go into a different test. We'll go ahead and do the ignition coil. It's going to say the same thing. It's going to give you that warning. It's going to tell you what conditions you need to meet before performing the test. And then you go ahead and select that coil. And then same thing, hit the accept button, and it's going to tell you that process is running. And then when it's done, it'll tell you it's finished. All right, so going out, there's the other tests there. We're going to probably go out and pick something else instead of going through each one of those. We're going to system checks. That's where your cylinder cutout will be on this model. Sometimes they're a little different, but it's on this one there. Parameters, and we'll have our engine location tachometer. These are going to be asking you for the expert code. So it's very important when you register the software that you get that expert code from jaltest.com once you log in. You can set it to where it's always on there. Calibration is going to be the same way. It's going to ask for that expert code. And then our data recorder, just follow the instructions. You're going to have up to 90 minutes. You can set triggers. You can show that. You can look at it in your fault code rating and your monitoring. So those are going to be there. And then we'll save it to our report. Again, this is a 2023 Mercury Verado. This is Tim with Marine Diagnostic Tools. Thanks for watching.